So the Pegasus line of Nike running shoes is a do-it-all workhorse daily trainer that's pretty much good for everything. It's considered by most people to be that one running shoe that if you can only have one running shoe, you would get this. You can use it for short stuff, fast stuff, comfortable runs, long runs, marathons, races if you wanted to. So it's pretty much good for everything. Now, just brush over real quickly what the shoe is as it is. It's a lightweight engineered mesh on the top with a little bit of foam in here and a decent amount of structure in the heel cup. It's got a thin, almost racing style tongue. It's got a 10 millimeter drop midsole, 28 millimeter stack in the rear, 18 millimeter stack in the forefoot, made of Cushlon foam, which is soft and forgiving, but also firm enough to where you can pick up the pace, you can get quick turnover, and you feel in control and like you can, be in control of your foot when you're trying to go fast. Inside there is a full-length Air Zoom pocket, which provides pop in the shoe. You'll notice as you wear it over time, here in the ball of the foot, as you step down, you'll feel a bit of like a bubble under your foot, and that allows the shoe to feel lively and responsive no matter how many miles you're in. Even when your legs are tired, underneath your foot, you still feel this lively sensation. So it's a unique and a really good experience. The outsole of the shoe is a high abrasion rubber, blown rubber here, with tons of traction. This shoe does great on all surfaces. I've never had a problem with slipping. It's probably one of the best grips of any road shoe of all the shoes I've probably worn. And it has this decoupling groove here to add some flexibility when you land, allows the shoe to move more naturally. So that's the shoe in a nutshell. Also, it is 10.72 ounces in a men's size 12. And in comparison to the 35 from last year, it's about the same. Now, Nike said with the 36 that the upper was lighter, which when it's on your foot, it does feel lighter over your foot. It feels significantly lighter, but on the scale, this shoe weighs pretty much the exact same as the 35. I weighed it a few times on a few different days, and there was a point where the 35 weighed a hair more than 36. And then there was another point where the 36 weighed a little bit more than the 35. So essentially, they're basically the same weight in my eyes. Although, like I said, it does feel lighter. So however that's working out, I don't know. In comparison to the 35 of last year, which is probably what most people care about, the upper is fully redesigned. They redid the entire thing. The midsole and the outsole didn't change. Unless it changed so slightly that no one notices a difference. They could always tweak the materials a little bit, but nothing that I noticed, and nothing that Nike's advertised. The upper here, the most noticeable thing is the design and the pattern of the upper. And I do appreciate all the ventilation holes that it has in here, which does seem to allow it to breathe more. The 35 didn't really have that much of that ventilation, so that is an improvement. The one thing I do not like about this is if you look at it from the right angle, it looks like the shoe has stretch marks. I mean, you would have thought this shoe was, pregnant and getting stretch marks around the abdomen. I can't get that out of my mind, and it bugs the absolute hell out of me. So for that reason, I don't really like what they did with the upper pattern. I much more preferred the pattern of the 35. I thought it looked really good. I didn't need anything for it to change. The one thing I do like on the upper is the swoosh here that dips down in the midsole. It's something Nike started doing about roughly this time last year. They were doing it, I think, first on the Vaporfly and started rolling it out to other shoes. It just gives a unique, cool spin on the swoosh. I'm sure at some point that'll get old and we'll want something else, but for right now, I actually really appreciate it. Also, this material they used is thicker than the 35. The 35 was a thin layer of some sort of, you know, plastic rubbery material, very thin. This one is noticeably thicker. You can feel the structure to it. It actually feels like a slab of rubber. And I don't know if they did that just for the material, just to do something different, but what I do notice is it gives a little bit more structure to the lateral side of the upper. I don't know if it actually materializes into any sort of actual benefit when you're running, but you do notice it there. So, you know, I'll take it. You know, I'm sure it doesn't hurt. And then on the interior side of the shoe, we got the little Nike swoosh here that they're doing with their shoes, and this wording and the Nike pinwheel here that they originally started, you know, adding this to the Vaporfly, and they've been rolling it out to all their other models, specifically within the Zoom family, the Pegasus Turbo, the Zoom Fly, Vaporfly, and the Pegasus 36. So I do like those additions. One thing that I really can't stand is all of this exposed Flywire, and that's just me. I'm sure some people agree, some won't agree, but I really liked the 35 as you only had about that much sticking out, just a little bit showing, and it looked nice. This looks like, I don't know, a little kid's shoe from Payless from about 2006. It looks like they're trying to give it this industrial design, and some people will appreciate it. I do not. I didn't need that, and I really, really don't like that it's exposed. In addition to that, they're going with dual colors here. You know, they got the crimson, and they got this gray. There isn't any other gray on this shoe except that. So that gray just sticks out like a sore thumb. It has, for me, no purpose. It's just really awkward. Maybe if they went with a black on this, maybe it would have looked good. Or both Flywires being crimson would have been good too. So I definitely am not a fan of that. What I am a fan of is the new tongue. The old tongue was extremely thick and padded, and it stuck up to about here. What it did was it tickled the top of your ankle. It helped keep in heat over your foot, and it also, in addition, absorbed sweat. So it really had no good purpose in my eyes. I'm sure some people like a thick padded tongue for cushion and comfort over the top of your foot, but I believe Nike went with this racer style curved low tongue because most people probably complained about the 35's tongue. Another nice touch that they did was they slimmed out the material on the heel cup and throughout the midfoot and the toe box of this shoe. And they went with a more tight knit fabric here instead of the plush, cottony, sock feeling fabric they went with. The 35, to me, the best way to describe it is the heel cup and even the midfoot of the shoe felt like I was wearing 3 pairs of snowboarding socks. Just this super thick, cushiony, cottony feel, which, once again, some people probably prefer that. I do not. That just absorbs so much feeling and adds so much disconnection in the shoe. So this is denser, provides more feel, and for that purpose, I think it's excellent. I think they did a good job going with that. And the thinner tongue as it is, just a couple layers of this mesh, and I think that's what they use, is just mesh in there. You can really lock this thing down over your foot. Now, the only problem I did have with the fit and feel of the shoe was, even though you could lock it down, I lock it down even to the point where you almost start to feel irritation over the top of your foot from the laces. I was still getting heel slippage in here, and it wasn't by much. It was, you know, my heel would slip up maybe an inch. There was no irritation, no problems there. It's just, it felt really awkward. And to think, okay, I'm strapped into this shoe, I'm locked back as tight as I can, and yet my heel still slips. It just is something that would pop up throughout my runs, and I would constantly be reminded of, like, oh, hey, my heel's slipping, and I don't know, I just didn't appreciate that at all. So as far as this shoe goes compared to the 35, I don't know if I like it more or less. When you're running in it, the underfoot feeling is the same, exact same as last year's. I don't notice a single difference there, which you shouldn't, being that it's all the same material. The upper, as you're running, does feel a little bit lighter, does feel more connected, more secure. The heel cup was a little looser and sloppier. But yeah, this shoe, it's good. It's a Pegasus. And it still lives up to what it's supposed to be. It's still a great shoe. If you're only going to have one running shoe, this is probably the one you need to have. But where I'm conflicted is, right now you can get the Pegasus 35 for, half off. This shoe's $120. It just came out. There will be a little bit of time before there's deals on this. The Pegasus 35 is out there, probably in the Nike outlet stores, online, and you can get that thing for $60, $90, a lot cheaper than you can get this. Maybe even cheaper than that, maybe 50 or under in some places. So the question comes down to, what would I recommend? Would I recommend that you get this shoe? I don't know. Me personally, I would actually opt for the 35. Now, I like the feel of this upper way more than the 35, but the looks of it, which shouldn't matter in running, right? But they do to some of us, me included. That amongst the heel slipping that I get here, for those reasons, I like the 35 more. I like the feel of this one more, but to me, it's just not worth paying the extra money. Or if you already have the 35, I definitely think it's completely not worth getting rid of your 35 or keeping it and upgrading to this one. I think that's just a waste of money and a waste of time. So if you're looking to get a Pegasus and that puffy upper and heel cup, if that doesn't bother you too much, you should definitely go with the 35. Now, if the 35 was just too snug, if it was too warm, way too cushioned and puffy, and you couldn't stand it, and you loved the underfoot feel, but the upper was just, you couldn't use it, right? Well, then this may be what brings you back to the Pegasus. I did forget to mention that the midfoot and the toe box fit like the 35 did after you got like 50 miles in it. So it fits nice and loose. There's no hot spots. It's not constricting down on your foot like the 35. The 35, fresh out of box, almost feels like you're wondering, oh my God, should I have gone up half a size or a full size? And this shoe just feels great right out of the box. But once again, if you don't absolutely have to have these features that this provides, I would recommend getting the 35. Way better bang for your buck. Get it for probably half the price of this thing. But yeah, so that's my review on this. I review a bunch of different aspects of the shoe, and you can see on the website pursuing262.com the review. I break it down a little bit more in the scoring. I give this shoe a 80%, which is good. It's a B. It's barely a B, but it's still good. I didn't give a grade to the 35, but if I ran it through the same criteria, it probably would have got a 85, maybe higher 80s. So all in all, personally, I like this shoe a little bit less than I do the 35. But to each his own. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the shoe and or the 35. I'm curious to see what other people think. Also, subscribe down below. Go follow me on different social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Look for Pursuing 26.2 or Pursuing 262. And also, let me know what kind of shoes you want me to review if you want to see something else. I should be doing one for the Vaporfly Next Percent, which I've already used, but I'll do an actual YouTube review for that shoe. The Skechers Speed Elite Hyper, whenever that comes out, which looks like it's going to end up being the end of August at this point, I will definitely have a review of that shoe. But yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see. I'm up for suggestions and always willing to try something out new and see if I find my new favorite running shoe. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Pretty sure you guys can't see it on the video, but there are exactly 1.29 trillion mosquitoes out here. Pretty sure I just risked malaria making this damn video for you. I hope you appreciate it. And then up in the sky, we got some random ass eagles fighting and screaming over stuff. I'm pretty sure I might die before I make it back. Oh well, it was worth it.